morning again. Are you guys all right? I hope that you're doing just fine. It's another beautiful and awesome morning. We're rising again. We've got life. We've got to be thankful. Grateful is the word, definitely, for today. Let's see what the news does to say, and then we'll come right back.
Good morning. The United Workers' Party, UWP, is turning up the pressure on the Labour administration to remove the recently enacted Health and Citizen Security Levy. The UWP says the levy is only creating additional hardships for citizens. The party, which recently staged a march to protest government policies, is threatening more anti-tax hike protests.
In light of global high prices, we recognize the burden, that the additional burden that this tax poses on especially low-income households, and we are calling on the government to take into consideration the looming possibility of further exacerbated high prices as a result of the Israeli-Palestine war. At this time, what is expected of a government with a conscience and compassion is that they take measures to ameliorate the suffering and hardships of our people, not to further compound their problems and burden them with additional high prices.
The UWP is appealing to the Labour government to stay true to its elections mantra of putting people first and remove what the party sees as a burdensome tax. Last week, the UWP said if the current government failed to repeal the tax, its elimination would be one of the first orders of business if the electorate returns the UWP to office. Prime Minister and National Security Minister Philip Pierre has announced the plans to create a standalone ministry to manage national security. He says government is more committed than ever to advancing critical national security priorities. Already, he says, the Labour administration has spent more on law enforcement than any previous government and has intimated that plans to pump even more money into the police force in the coming months, in addition to the provision of resources and the creation of more training opportunities for police officers.
We are going to, in the next budget, we're going to have a dedicated Ministry of National Security. So you'll have your own head in the estimates. Because right now you share the head with the Ministry of Home Affairs. And sometimes that creates a little bit of confusion. You're going to have your own head, so you're going to have a Ministry of National Security with a particular head. So your expenses, you're going to have your own permanent secretary, you're going to have the Ministry of National Security will be taken away from the Ministry of Home Affairs, and it's going to have a separate head for the Ministry of National Security. To give it so that there can be no issues as to who is in charge of what expense comes where, etc.
The government has allocated millions of dollars to bolster the tactical and operational capacity of the police department. Additional ground assets, including bicycles and motor vehicles, have also been provided to lawmen by the administration. The Folk Research Center, FRC, in collaboration with the Events Company of St. Lucia, have gone out of their way to ensure this weekend's Journée Créole festivities will be safe and enjoyable for visitors to the three host communities. Now organizers are appealing to the public to play their part to keep the events safe and incident-free by obeying the law and adhering to directives from the police.
Security is a major part of ensuring the success of any event, and in this regard, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force has worked closely with partner agencies like the Folk Research Center and the Events Company of St. Lucia in ensuring that these events are secured and that traffic management plans are in place. And it is our hope that the public will comply with the rules and plans that have been set in place.
We will have the necessary law enforcement presence to deter and prevent any kind of criminal activity at our event and along our routes. So as a result, the necessary law enforcement strategies will be implemented. So anybody with any intention of engaging in any activity not Creole will be intercepted and will be dealt with appropriately.
The Events Company of St. Lucia has been working with a number of stakeholder agencies to put this year's activities together to ensure compliance to established mass crowd event guidelines. Former students and teachers of the Soufriere Junior Secondary School gathered at the Church of the Assumption recently to celebrate the 50 years since the establishment of the school. Now known as the Soufrière Comprehensive Secondary School, the school was originally established in 1970. It was intended to last for just 3 years, with students coming from communities across Soufrière, including some who had never set foot in a school up until that point.
The first 2 years, I worked with the then principal, Mr. Chester Johnston. He was Canadian, and started things going. I enjoyed my experience there. In the third year, I spent 3 years there. In the third year, I replaced him running the school, and that had its challenges and so on. But I enjoyed my time there. Some nice experiences, some unforgettable ones. But I am from Soufrière, and I started my teaching career at the Itang School in Soufrière, so I knew a lot of people, in the community.
We really had a fun time. We had some teachers which came from America. We had one from Australia, Mr. McLeod, who produced one of the best plays to have been brought out from the school. In fact, the Ministry of Education at the time actually sent us a contribution or donation, whatever you want to call it, due to that production, which was an Arabian Night called Abu Hassan Pays Its Debts. Actually, I was the main character in that play.
The celebration attracted several former students from the diaspora, along with 4 former teachers also in attendance. On Friday, the former students planned a hamper distribution to the community's most vulnerable residents, and the group also intends to engage in some fun sports activities. These are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
News Desk, thank you. We're going to take a break now and come right back. You know what? Our second feature, they're not related, but it's along that line as well. And we thought, oh, how lucky are we? We caught up with a gentleman who is visually impaired and a farmer. Interesting, right? Let's see. Now we always find ourselves, when we go after one, we find about 12 more, because there's always something that intertwines, or we pop up on something interesting when we went to one mission. We caught up here with Mr. Antonius Tixi. He's a farmer, and he's visually impaired. Now we had to tap into this because it's not my first time interacting with you. I didn't remember. Thanks for reminding me. I remember your daughter took part in a pageant recently, and she won last year, and she won. Now I had no idea what we was working with. So now that you've given me the rundown of that, I am very interested. I'm sure my listeners and viewers will be very interested as well. You know, how does this work, man? Tell me about your farming experience. Tell me, what is it like being visually impaired and being a farmer?
Being a blind farmer is very difficult and challenging, you know.
When did you start? Were you born visually impaired?
No, I lost my sight 17 years ago now.
Why? How? What happened?
Suffered with a sickness, optic neuritis, inflammation in the optic nerves and in twisted nerves underneath the brain, so the blood can't circulate to give the
And that has no... There's
spent some time in Martinique and treatments, but unfortunately, they recognize the surgery, but it's a 50-50 surgery because the nerves underneath the brain.
That's hard.
Yeah. So they become some treatments.
So you decided to not opt for that. Yeah. So you used to be in farming before you lost your sight?
I was born and raised as a farmer, but I was security guard on time. But born and raised in the countryside, Blashadiri, you know. So.
Right, so you've been doing your little farming, here comes this disease, decided it's going to take your vision. What was it like when you first had to, how old were you at that time though?
I was just about 30 years old when I lost my sight.
And you lost your sight. Imagine that. That must have been difficult. It's one thing if you're born without it, then you would have learned how to do things because you never had it. But to have had it up to 30 years old and then lost your sight, how was that for you?
Well, when you partners, like, okay, when I joined the Blind Welfare Association, and I meet other people that blind, you know, and team up with the Blind Welfare Association, and they give me the strength, you know, make me believe
man,
like I'm not
listen, man, you're going ahead of me there. You see where I want to go with this? Look, you're here, or they're here, 30 years old, you're running around doing your thing, you're farming, you come out in your farm, you're there, you're running, you see your chicken run there, you see your little tomato growing there, and then boom, the next day, here I am, I can't see nothing. Wow. What was that like? I mean, that must have been scary.
It did not go down one time, it went gradually.
Okay, started to lose it over time.
Gradually, I was working up enough at that time, security, so it went gradually when it reached to a dark point. Right. Because they couldn't detect what was wrong with the eyes, you know.
Right. So you were eased into it, which was a little bit easier for you, maybe?
Not easier. It's a bit worried as well because you face doctors and they couldn't detect what was wrong.
What was going on, and you just seen
your vision kept decreasing, and they couldn't even find what was wrong, you know.
Wow. When it finally went, do you remember when that you couldn't see anything no more?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us, break it down.
Well,
where were you? What was going on?
Just wake up, like you see when you're reading, you stand because see nothing. Put the papers in front of me. I couldn't see no numbers, nothing. You know, right. It was like hectic. You know.
Wow. So then, how did you? Well, yes, you went to the blind welfare, but you still had to. Your livelihood still mattered. You had to continue your farming because that's your livelihood. And when you realized how did you start it back? Doing the farming stuff, how did you adjust?
I went back country. That's where I have my house and my property. So, and I started doing it small. And some elderly people give me a little support around, tell me you can do this, you can do that, you know.
Right.
And I end up doing it and success from it.
Right. So, what is it like now? Like, I want to know when you're planting. What are some of the things you plant? You plant
ginger, yam, dashing, plantain, you know.
Wow.
And I plant everything myself. I cultivate it myself as well.
Wow. And you rip?
I rip myself as well, yeah.
Wow. So. And I mean, well, you cannot see it now, but from the reviews of people who is purchasing it, good thing?
Good, very good.
Good thing.
And I grow good things because I grow enough organic, no chemical. No. I don't use chemicals, so.
Oh my God!
So it's good than the one you'll buy on shelves now.
Right. So you keeping that. All right. That authenticity of I like that. All right. So what does the future look like for you, man? What are some of the things that goes through your head on a daily basis when you think about your life?
Yes, I just focus on God right now. No man can help me. It's God alone that can help me. I don't have my faith in man. As long as I trust in God, I wake up. He'll make a way when there seems to be no way.
Right.
Yeah.
But you look lovely. You look like you look like you're really climatized into this thing. You know, look like you're making sense of this now. You know, you've gotten used to it now.
Sure. You have to. Sure. If you don't, you fail.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. What is the support around like? Is that a very critical part for you as well in terms of
very
family?
Critical. Yeah, very critical. But you know, God sends the right person around you at the right time. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we got a viewer public there now. I mean, in terms of motivation and inspiration and telling people to get off their backs because, I mean, you're doing it and you're blind. What is the excuse?
They have others that can do. And, you know, just to send a message out there, all our good lands, you know, abandoned now. So, never let the youths go on the streets, go and work, go and get something. We have a food shortage right now. Go out there and do something for the living now.
Positive. Yeah. Positive. Mr. Tixie? Manners and respect, brother. Give me a little there. Put it in. Bring it in right there so I forget I didn't make a lot set aside so you there. We're ready for you. Like, you understand? Because you don't even look it. But you know what? It certainly is an inspiration to see you handling your business despite of the challenge.
Good, true.
Wonderful. Now, you know, we like to, you know, create a platform, but also point you in the direction because we really do believe in sustainability in terms of growing what we eat, eating what we grow kind of thing. We are advocates for those as well. So whenever we find people within the industry who is working along that line, we tend to, gravitate towards them. We caught up with the proprietor of Melonade, well, the mom actually. Listen, we're in a small island and a lot of things intertwined with each other. I don't know if you remembered, but recently we had popped into one of these shops down in Castries named the Local Shop. And we were gifted, well, we were thirsty and they gave us some little drinks. And we remember the brand on it. And here we are at the expo. And guess who? Guess what we saw? Melonade. That's the drink that we got when we were there, and it was so good. It was natural, it was refreshing. So we're here with Sarita. Sarita is the mom of the proprietor.
Yes.
So your daughter is the one who created this business. Let's talk a little bit about that.
My daughter, Chelsea Alsey, she's the one who created Melanade, and I am assisting her to help the business grow and to spread the message of eating healthy, eating natural.
Because you're also an alkaline life coach.
Yes, I am.
Oh, everything is working together perfectly here for us. Now tell me about your daughter getting into that business. What prompted it? Do you know?
Yes, I had a business called Oasis Cafe. When COVID came, I had no choice to close down, so she came up with the idea to begin Melanade as a smoothie brand. And then we took it from there. We added more products to it, such as the supplements, the tea bags, icicles, and the sea moss gel.
That's all locally made?
All locally made, manufactured right here in St. Lucia. All of the ingredients are recommended by Dr. Sebi. So it's for healing, for reversing illnesses and preventing illnesses and making us young again.
No, hey, I'm curious now. How old is your daughter?
My daughter is 21.
Wow, this is interesting.
Yes.
So at 21, she has mastermind that she can get into a business at that level.
Yes.
How has it been going for her?
It's been going good for her because she has my support, and she went into business because she grew up seeing me trying different things, trying to succeed and to provide for the family, and she has learned a lot from just observing me and working with me at the cafe.
Right.
And she decided to start her own business, and I'm here to support her to make it successful.
Well, this is great stuff. I'm curious now about the production side of things now.
Yes.
How do you know what it is? Is that something that you learned being a alkaline life coach in terms of the product, the amounts, the mixing of the products? You need to know what you're about.
Yes,
so
yes.
Is that where you lending hands as well?
It's self-taught. I did a lot of studies. She did her research on what ingredients to use for her products, and I decided to become an alkaline life coach, whereby I sit down with our clients and give them the right information, the right knowledge, because you may think that a fruit or a vegetable is natural, and it's not. It's a hybrid, it's a natural, it's acidic, full of starch, and this is what causes illnesses.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So we need, even though we see fruits, we still need to know.
You need the knowledge.
We need the knowledge.
You need the knowledge.
I
Yes.
absolutely love that. Where can we find you? I mean, do you have a physical outlet, or?
We have our processing plant is located in Sanssouci, and you can get the.
I don't believe this. Okay, you gotta give me that location, because I'm gonna find
It's on Creek Road behind the Cultural Center. You will see the Melanade sign.
Oh, okay.
You can get the products at the local on Miku Street next to Valsin, and every Friday and Saturday we're in the boulevard in front of Flo, right there, attending to our clients and giving them information.
What is the future plans? I mean, you would know, because you and your daughter seem to have quite a bond going on.
Yes.
What is the future plans for Melanade?
The plans for Melanade is to grow, to distribute island-wide, and to help persons become healthy, probably become healthy, reverse sicknesses, get younger, like I said before, and become very successful, to also represent St. Lucia on the global market as the #1 premium brand straight from St. Lucia.
I like this.
Yes.
Oh man, you guys seem to have this unlocked. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Big up your daughter for us, because we hope to meet her someday.
Yes,
hopefully.
you will.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you
Well,
very
there you
much.
go. We're doing good things.
Thanks a lot.
Bonjour tout le monde, bonjour Mama Isette Lissi, and welcome to another episode of DBS's Lookbook. I am Vanessa Henry Long, your certified image consultant, personal stylist, and makeup artist from Lovely Makeup Artistry and Image Consultancy. Tout le monde, nous en mois octobre, et mois octobre c'est mois héritage créole. Wassin Pepla is the theme for this year's Journée Creole. And like any other month, you know October is one of the best months. I know, December is around the corner, yes, it's a good month too, but October is one of the best months in St. Lucia. Parce que nous ka célébrer Creole Mamaila. Et toute manière style, ou ça vous kay pour sortir et puis ti madwa sou, ou ça vous kay pour mettre ti robe duet too, and put yourself into style this Creole. So you may be wondering, what does Vanessa have up her sleeve for this year or this episode of the lookbook? Well, guess what? I decided to take it to the streets to get out to show you some places that you can go. I know it's maybe last minute for some of you because zot sav, ada zot emewete last minute ou zot fair shopping ou journée Creole. Well, I have got you covered. And right now I am standing next to the Castries Craft Market, where many of us just believe it is only for tourists. No, mama, I certainly see. Zot savini de San Castries Craft Market to acheter tout bagay Creole zot. So if you're looking for, you're on a budget and you don't have the budget to put on your big warp duet, well, you can start with something as simple as some great t-shirts, some graphic tees that has, the print of our madras, and we can even have the shirts as well for the guys who may be looking for something simple to wear, not too extravagant. You can wear a shirt in the madras print as well. So you have some graphic tees, you have some madras shirts, and if you want to make it what I call a little bit décontracté, something comfortable, you can put it with some slacks, some shorts, some pants. So stay tuned. I am going to show you more ideas how you can style this year for Journée Creole. In the arcade in Miss Lucia's stand. It's very easy to find. As soon as you go across from the Castries Craft Market, right here Miss Lucia has all the amazing accessories for you for this Journée Creole. Now if you're wondering, you already have all your madras, you have your warp duets, you have all your little outfits, and guess what? When it comes to accessories, I have a thing for accessories. I think it's important to know how to make sure you have the little bag and even the little hat, because so you need to ensure you have your hat on your head for this Journée Creole, and you have your bag that can take in all of your goodies, because when you head down to the various communities, you will need to want to buy your little tamarind ball, your ice lolly, already your lala bag, everything, and you would need some space. So you need a bag like this. And Miss Lucia has it in various sizes and also various colors. So you would have some of them, sepaniati boy pligo, ni adan yo ki pli piti. So ça dépend. Si aussi si on senti madame, sou sango madame, sou vle an bay ki pligo, sa achete pligo a. Sou vle an ti pli piti, ou sa achete pli piti a. So here, right here in the Castries Craft Market as well as the arcade, you can get all of the fabulous finds for Journée Creole. So you don't have to go far. Some persons think it's so difficult, it's difficult to get something to wear. Right within your closet, you can find things that you can mix and match and accessorize them too. But if you don't have it at home, you can just come down to town, into Castries, and you can get that. So don't forget guys, accessorize with a little hat, a t-shirt. Sometimes you can also do it if you don't want to go as far as a hat. You can take a simple madras cloth, tie it around your head, create that scarf, on your head, or you can put it around your skirts, like I call it a t-jipon. You just mawe sa on the well norm conform, and you create that present, you create a little outfit, you create that look for this year's Journée Creole. I have all the dibs for you for this year's Journée Creole, and like I said, Mamaila zot sab me ka fe zot habillé style. I'm right now by Miss Beverly and Merle stall, and this is opposite the Castries Vendors Arcade. So if you're looking for your last minute shopping, y'all know some of your last minute, and y'all know y'all want to get the outfits for the little ones. Let me tell you, I have two boys and I have to make sure I get something here by Miss Merle and by Miss Beverly, because the thing's nice. C'est by la belle. And if you have a little girl and you want to put her in style, ouvle, habillé, anti, wop, kwe, yoli, this is the place you have to come to get your stuff. So if you are still hesitating on what to get for the kids, this is the place where you can get it. You have the little tops for the boys, you have the little outfits for the girls. Temedis or say outfit la belle, yo belle, yo belle. And if you don't want to put them in Journée Creole and maybe you want to put them in a little African print, you can do that as well. So you see guys, in St. Lucia there are so many places where you can get things for this year's Journée Creole, and the beauty about this is if you get it a little size bigger, especially for the kids, they can actually have their Journée Creole outfit for more than 1 year. And a traditional wear, I believe, is something that you need to have, not just for Journée Creole, but for any occasion. You can have it for National Day, you can have it to represent in various areas that you want to, especially if there's something traditional happening at the store. So let me tell you guys, this is the place to be, right down in the city of Castries if you are looking to shop last minute for this year's Journée Creole festivities. Don't hesitate. I hope you did enjoy this episode of the Lookbook. See you next time.
And that is our show for today. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Join us again tomorrow for the weekend. We'll be kicking it off right here on DBS.